Well, hello, Bill Shaka here. Welcome to another edition of the 5 Minute Motivator. Welcome to Tamarindo, Costa Rica. And ladies and gentlemen, I would appreciate it if you would like, share, and comment on this video as much as possible so that I can get maximum exposure and share this message with more people. I would also appreciate it if you would join, excuse me, the 5 Minute Motivator membership and my YouTube channel. Okay, that's another way to make sure that you don't miss any episodes. I'd like to talk today about, I'd like to ask a question. And this is just basic business. Is your budget aligned to your strategy? And I think an even more pragmatic question is your business plan aligned to your strategy? So many times I see disconnects in the document called the strategy, the document called the strategic plan, and how implementation occurs. At the university level, I was involved several times in the strategic planning session. I had one of the broad goals that came down from on high, and spent several months putting together detailed items on this particular aspect of strategy. We met every week to work on the strategic plan. And at the end of the process, the strategic plan was put into the credenza and not looked at for another year until it was time to go through the academic plan again. What a crock. Look, folks, and it's not necessarily a knock on academia. Well, I guess kind of it is, but because they don't have revenue. Most campuses don't have real revenue responsibilities. The idea behind this is to make sure that the strategy and the budget are aligned. That's what I'd like to really concentrate on. So, you know, when you are developing budgets for your business, you should be looking at your strategic plan. You know, for example, if your strategic plan calls for 5% market share growth, and your marketing people are being hit over the head for increasing their budget, there's an intellectual disconnect there. How do you expect them to get 5% additional growth if you're not willing to increase the budget? Now, obviously, it's up to the executive team to look at the marketing budget and say, yes, this makes sense in terms of expansion of market share. We need to expand the expenses for the marketing team by this amount. Does it make sense to do that? So I think that's one of the areas that we need to look at, and it's an area that I like to call the sub-budgets. The sub-budgets are the budgets that roll up into the major budget for the organization. But I think one of the main questions that we have to ask is this budget actually aligned to our strategy? If I take the strategic plan and I look at the budget, is the budget a numerical representation of the strategic plan? It should be. Now, as far as the business plan and the strategy, those are basically the same thing. The business plan should be the operations. In other words, here is how we will put the strategy into play. So I think that those are important points to look at from an executive level, but I also think they're important points to look at from a mid-management level and the individuals that are actually creating the budget. Keep an eye on your budgetary expenses as well as the departments that have revenue requirements, and make sure that they are aligned to your strategy. Also, upper management, one of the biggest budgetary concerns is to keep an eye on cash flow. Okay, you know, the management of liquid assets, the money coming into the business, the money going out of the business. I mean, yeah, a business could literally go bankrupt, even though their revenue is spectacular, if they're not managing their cash flow. So a couple points to chew on today. I'm not looking for any actionable items here. I'm not looking for you to do anything. I'm looking for you to think about this, especially if you're in upper management. Consider these points in terms of congruency between the budget and between the strategic plan. If you can do that, if you can at least analyze that or put a committee together or bring your executive team together and ask that question, is our strategy and is our budget aligned? I think that's a great start. It's fodder for moving the organization forward. Bill Shaka, thanking you for your time. Looking forward to seeing you in another edition of the 5 Minute Motivator. Bye.